Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone. We're here for more ESRL, and today it's another reverse grid sprint, of course. Round 3 of 6. Going to be here in Canada. Good evening, Marcus Short. I'm sure you'll be hoping to be leading the championship after today. You are not far off it at all. It is still Lifebout who leads the title of the championship, so he will be starting from the back in this first race. But regardless, we are here in Canada for what I'm sure is going to be quite a chaotic reverse grid sprint. Sprint races on this track usually are, so I'm very much looking forward to watching. It looks like we may have 1 or 2 new names this week, which is very exciting. I think Formation Lap is on, so we'll get a chance to chill out and see where everyone is. So let's enable that, disable that. Okie dokie. So, very wide range of tyre choices. So we've got Trugster, Tier, The Toe, Mar 10, Aces, Short Marcus, and RHM, who is new, on the mediums. And we've got Robin A, Scott, Rick, The Main Wayne, Lifebout, and Spaled Wrong on softs. And then DTS Ayrton and Womax have gone for the hards, which is a very interesting decision considering how long the softs go around here. But regardless, I'm interested to see how it goes for them. 18 laps of the Canadian track here. Very, very tricky, technical street circuit with a lot of points where one error will send you straight into the wall. So drivers have got to be on top form, always concentrating in order to secure a result today. As I said, RHMXA is new in the Rebel. He's got a default helmet, so he gets 0 out of 10 on the helmet reviews. And Spaled Wrong, I don't think I've seen him before. I think he was Tier 2, if I'm not mistaken, last season. So I'm interested to see how he does. He also gets 0 out of 10 for the default helmet. Looks like everyone's coming through the final chicane and getting ready to get set on the grid. Who's going to get disqualified on grid placement, I wonder? Very easy to do. If you go a little bit over, then the game will set you back a few meters. There we go, DTS Ayrton has already fallen foul of that. It looks like everyone else is fairly clean. No, RHMXA as well. Right, here we go. We're about to get underway for the Canadian Grand Prix. I don't have my telemetry with me today because my laptop is busted. But anyways, 3, 4, 5. Red lights. And we're underway for the Canadian Grand Prix. It's a terrible start for Womack further back, but a good start for Trugster. Tears up to P2, down the inside. A lot of people, 3x3x3. Oh, someone's lost it. That's Tier, and he's caused untold carnage at the back as everyone tries to avoid him. Rick has been super unlucky and gotten caught up in that. DTS Ayrton, the two Mercedes as well, have gotten caught up. That's huge, crucial for Short Marcus especially. Lifeboat already up to P8, the championship leader, looking for a good result today. Well, this race to keep his championship lead. There's another big mistake there. TF Mar 10, and he's taken out someone else. I think that was the main Wayne, so Lifeboat's up to P6 now. What a start for the championship leader. Unbelievable. As we get through lap 1, we're barely through lap 1 even. The two Mercedes have gotten back going again, but they are 11th and 13th. As the toe gets past Womack in an unexpected place at the hairpin. Womack is going to try and switch back to try and have a run. They're going to be side by side all the way down to the final chicane. Who's going to have the advantage? Womack has got the hard tyres, the toe on the mediums, but Womack's on the inside. A bit of wheel banging as they go down. Who's going to come out in front? Is there going to be contact? Womack, I think, just about backed out just in time. So credit to him. No contact there, but Trugster sets the fastest lap at the front, and he leads at the moment. Robinet right behind him. A good start for the Aston Martin as well. As now Scott's trying to find his way past Womack, who's really struggling on these hard tyres, unsurprisingly, at this early stage. With so many drivers behind him on softs, he's going to really struggle not to just ship positions lap after lap here. In the Alpine, he's leading a huge train. Oh no, Scott's lost it, and Lifeboat somehow manages to avoid him. Scott all the way down. Rick's out of the race. He couldn't avoid the spun Red Bull. That's such a shame for him. Caught up in two incidents, neither of which were his fault, and he is now out of the race. Though we do have a safety car. Trugster, Robinet, the toe, Womack's, Lifeboat up to P5. Short Marcus is going to be P12, I think. Yeah, they've already pitted, so they must have had damage on those Mercedes. And Short Marcus onto the hards, which is certainly a call. I think he thinks the mediums won't make it the whole way. I think they will. They'll be tired by the end, but I think they would make it the whole way. Lifeboat's in, unsurprisingly, all the soft tyre runners into the pits. What tyres are they going to go on, though? Mediums or hards? That's the question. Let's watch Lifeboat as he enters the pit lane. The championship leader chooses the medium tyres. Like I said, I think they will go to the end. Just to be a little bit tired by the end. Tired. Oh dear. Trugster and Robinet, though, have stayed out. And Robinet especially, that's a really interesting call from the Aston Martin driver who started on the soft tyres. I'm very surprised he stayed out. But regardless, Spaled Wrong gone into the hard. Mar 10 has gone into the hard. So a few people think the mediums won't make it. I do think the mediums will make it. Short Marcus has now transitioned over to the medium tyres, unsurprisingly, as has Aces, his teammate, just behind. So the two Mercedes, 13th and 14th, but now will go comfortably to the end and will be able to catch back up after getting, unfortunately, in that turn 1 incident with Tier losing it. But everything's going to be neutralised now under the safety car. As Trugster still leads the way. Robinet right behind. Yeah, Rick, that was horrific luck. There was two incidents, neither of which you could do anything about. And the second one DNF'd you. That was desperately unlucky. Lifeboat did extremely well to avoid Scott there, and he remains in the session. The toe has pitted, so that's another place for Lifeboat. Robinet and Trugster have stayed out again. Well, they kind of have to now. They've resigned to their own fate at this point. There's RHMXA, another one who hasn't stopped yet. So, Lifeboat could easily be on to win this race. The top three still have to pit. He's got Womack in front, who hasn't looked fast, but we'll see if Lifeboat can do anything about him. And behind him, he's got DTS Ayrton, who's definitely not at his pace level. Spaled Wrong, who's on hards. The main Wayne, the Tier 2 champion, is pretty much his closest challenger, other than, of course, Wumax. So we'll see what Lifebout can do here. The top three could really play a spoiler effect here, as they all still have to pit. But they could get involved in the races of those who have already pitted and don't need to stop again. Safety car will be in this lap, so we'll go right on board with Robinet, because it's Trugster's decision on when to punch it, when to put the foot on the throttle pedal and go for it. Robinet keeping a big distance at the moment. He's closing up now, getting ready for when Trugster decides to go for it. Is he going to go before or after the chicane, or in the chicane? I wonder. Here we go, coming up to the final chicane. Has he gone for it? No, he's going to wait after the chicane. He's gone now. Robinet not caught out. He's right behind him. Could the Aston Martin make a move here? I wonder, up towards turn one. No, he's just going to stick behind for now. RHMXA right there, as well as Robinet pushes Trugster practically through turn two and nearly loses it on exit. That was well held by the Frenchman as Wumax gets past. RHMXA already in the Alpine, up to P3 he goes. Lifebout's trying to do the same just behind. The Alfa Romeo trying to find a way through. Is there one? Not quite. Into this left-hander, but RHM has gone very deep, and that could open the door for Lifebout on the switchback all the way up to the kinked right-hander, and I think Lifebout's done this. RHMXA is going to send it round the outside. That's never ever going to work at that corner. And Lifebout up to P4, and in fact the Red Bull's lost it. He's into the wall. He's just about been able to not DNF from the race, but he is all the way down to last place as Short Marcus and the Toe losing positions at the moment. The Short Marcus up to P9, Scott down to P10, and the Toe lost a couple of positions there. I'm not quite sure what happened, maybe a small error, as Aces now tries to make it 3, and down the inside he goes, and the Toe can't do anything. Maybe there's damage on that Williams, I'm not sure, but Aces up to P11. The Mercedes are looking up. Short Marcus sets the fastest lap, in fact, just to prove it, as the main Wayne now past DTS Ayrton, who's shipping positions. Mar10 round the outside. Is this going to work? Is he going to be ahead at turn 3? Yes, he is. It's going to be side by side all the way through. Somehow they've managed to keep it, but Lifebout, the championship leader's lost it at turn 3. He's all the way down to P12, P13, and that is a massive let off for Short Marcus. Lifebout's going to be gutted with that. He's going to lose the championship lead, I think, as long as Short Marcus, as long as things stay as they are, and I'm sure Short Marcus is going to be fighting his way further up the grid. TF Mar10 as well. But he's on the hard tyres, of course, so he's not going to have a good time for the rest of this race compared to the guys on mediums. Failed wrong in 4th. Robinet continues to stay in P2, but remember, Trugster and Robinet still have to pit. So at the moment, Wumax is actually the technically leader of this race. DRS is now enabled as Short Marcus continues to stay right behind TF Mar10. Robinet's right behind Trugster as well, but remember, they've both got to stop. Wumax could be in for his first ESRL victory here. He is looking good in P3, failed wrong behind, but on the hard tyres as Aces gets past Ayrton DTS as well at turn 3, who's dropping positions left, right and centre as the Toe tries to make a move as well. DTS just about manages to fend him off as Tier gets the first track limits time penalty of the race. I'm sure it won't be the last. There's Robinet as well, right behind Trugster. DRS is going to be enabled. Can he make a move into the final chicane, or is he going to wait for turn 1? Let's find out. That rear wing opens on the Aston Martin. Robinet looking for the move on Trugster. He knows he's going to have to still pit stop at some point and lose a bunch of time as Short Marcus gets past Mar10 in the background. Mercedes up to P6 now and looking to cement what will be the championship lead as it stands, and setting the fastest lap in the process. He is looking very, very strong, and Womack has got to watch out. He's only within 2 cars of the Alpine now as they head on through turns 3 and 4. Look at this train. It's the Womack train at the moment. Speald Wong is keeping up with him. Womack doesn't quite have the pace to take advantage of the tyres that he's got compared to the McLaren. And Short Marcus, it's like you can almost hear the Jaws music as he approaches, and the main Wayne round the outside of Speald Wong. He's made the move, but he's gone wide in the process. I wonder if Speald Wong is going to contest that, but it doesn't matter because Short Marcus has made the move as well. The McLaren down 2 places in just as many corners, and Martin trying to make it 3 places in 3, but Speald just about keeps that up. And Short Marcus now on the charge for the main Wayne just ahead of him. The top 2 still not pitting quite yet. So 3 seconds is the gap, but they do have to stop as TF Martin tried to make the move as Speald Wong nearly loses it out of the wall of champions. Manages to save the car but loses the place as Short Marcus now down the inside of the main Wayne at turn 1. He's up to P4 and he is looking to take this race win now. It looked so good for Lifebout, but he's just couldn't keep the car on the track through turns 3 and 4, and he is down to last, and his main rival right behind him in the championship is up to P4, which is going to turn into P2 as Robinet gets past Trugster further up. Must have been a mistake from the Williams, so the Aston Martin up to P1, but they both still have to stop once again. Short Marcus right behind Womack. We yet to see many penalties for track limits. I'm sure we're going to see more than one. It's just who's going to get them and how crucial are they going to be, I wonder. There's Short Marcus right behind Womack now. I think the wings on that Mercedes are very low indeed, and Womack can't do anything. Derating on the straight, no ERS on that Alpine. Short Marcus up to P3. It's going to be P1 once the top 2 pit, and he is putting on a masterclass today after being caught up in that incident at turn 1. Very unfortunate, but he's made up for it. Used the safety car to his advantage. Seen his championship rival spin and lose it all the way down to last place, and he is now in P3 and feeling very confident. I'm sure we've got yellow flags. I think is that Lifebout who's gone round. It is. He's going very slowly in that Alfa Romeo, and he is all the way down even further now. Really struggling in that Alfa Romeo. Is the championship leader. It's not going to be the championship leader for long though. The main Wayne as well, trying to take what will be P2 from Womack round the outside on the approach to the hairpin. Is he going to make the move? Yes, he is. Womack nearly goes into the back of him, but the Haas up to P4. He's going to turn into P2 once the top 2 have stopped. On lap 10 of 18, about to come on to lap 11. Are there any signs of the top 2 pitting? Yes, both of them into the pits, in fact. Robinet and Trugster. And they're going to drop all the way to the back, and Short Marcus takes the race lead, and I can't see him losing it from here. 2.2 second gap to the main Wayne. He is looking mighty quick, and with 7-8 laps to go, I think only a mistake from the Mercedes can take this race win from him. TF Martin on the hards. He's making them work though, as he's challenging Womack right behind the Alpine. For that P3, the last place on the podium. It looked for a while that the Bulgarian of Womack might be able to win this race, but it seems that that has not transpired. He hasn't had the pace to keep up, even on those mediums. And Martin looking to even take the podium off him now, as well as Aces versus Kings in that other Mercedes. He goes for it down the inside. That's a huge send from Aces. He somehow made it work. Martin had to avoid him, and take avoiding action, but Aces has somehow made the move without crashing into anyone. He's up to P4 now, but neither of them got any ERS. TF Mar 10 can see that as Aces now down the inside of Wumax on the approach to the final chicane. He's made it work. Brilliant move from Aces. It's a Mercedes 1-3 as Mar 10 tries to make the move as well and does. The AlphaTauri up to P4, and he hasn't given up on a podium either. I think he's got a lot more ERS in the tank. Yeah, he does. You can see from the steering wheel. Lifebout gets himself a 3-second time penalty. He is having a torrid time on this track at the moment. Such a shame for the Dutchman, but maybe he's distracted by the ongoing World Cup match. Who knows? TF Mar 10 now getting past RHMXA, who is being lapped in that Red Bull. He has not had a good time either. There's the AlphaTauri down on the approach to the end of Sector 2. Can he catch back up to Aces? That's the question. And can Aces catch the main Wayne and try and make this a Mercedes 1-2, which would be quite remarkable after they were both at the very back of the grid after lap 1, 14th and 15th. Sorry, 13th and 14th respectively, because Rick has already DNF'd at that point. And looking like there was no way back for them. Lifebout was up to P4 or 5, and all of a sudden it's completely flipped. 12 laps later, DTS Ayrton getting past Scott further back as well for P7. And the Toe looking to follow him. There goes the Williams down the inside. Is he going to be able to make the move? Can Scott hold it around the outside? No, he has to concede. And the Toe up to P8. As more time penalties starting to appear. Trugster gets one as well further back. Yellow flags, that's Lifebout again, I think. Yeah, it is. He's had another spin in that Alfa Romeo. He is having a terrible time, and at this point he just wants this race to be over, I'm pretty sure. The Toe still right behind DTS Ayrton. You can see the flashing red light on the back of that Alpine. The Toe knows he's got an opportunity here on the next DRS straight. We've got to cut to P4 though, because TF Mar 10 also has an advantage of DRS on Aces, but I don't think he's going to be close enough to make a move into the final chicane, and indeed he's got the flashing red light on the back of him as well, but he's going to go for it down the inside. Aces has to defend, but Mar 10 nearly made that work. Who's that spun? I think that's Tier further up, who's been lapped in Sector 1, but Mar 10 really went for that then. Nearly worked, but not quite, as the Toe tries to make the move down the inside into Turn 1. He's made that work as well as Robin on the fresh medium tyres. It tries to recover as best he can. If he just pitted on lap 1, he could be in a place to, well, at least get a podium, maybe even win this race, but Robin chose not to pit under the safety car, and it's cost him. Short Marcus gets himself a 3-second time penalty in the meantime. The Toe has lost it further back, as has Scott. Robin has lost the position to Trugster as well. It's all happening. I'm not quite sure what exactly just happened there. A lot of people swap positions and nothing seems to happen on the screen, which was very strange. But Robin loses that position to Trugster. He's up to P9 but back down from Trugster. But I'm sure these are the two that stopped, and obviously Trugster with that time penalty is going to cost him in the end. Short Marcus sets another fastest lap. That 3-second penalty is not going to matter, which is why I didn't really react too much to it, because I saw the gap was already 4 seconds. I thought, well, that's not really going to matter. Mar 10 though, a penalty for him would matter, because it would mean he would have no chance at this podium. Currently sitting right behind Aces on lap 15 of 18. This has gone very quickly, this race. Has spaled wrong on the back of Wumax as well. Trugster right behind DTS Ayrton, trying to take that place, but Robin is on the hunt as well, trying to recover. At the moment he was a net P8 thanks to the penalty, but I'm sure he'll be looking to get P7 by the end. if he can make his way past DTS Ayrton, as Trugster is trying to do now, but with no success at that particular point. Is he going to make it though into the hairpin? He's going to go around the outside. No, he's going to cut to the inside, and in the end he's not even going to try it at all. And Robinett is going to be let through as he brakes very, very late, Trugster. And here comes the Aston Martin. They're side by side again. They've both got DRS, but we've got to cut to TF Martin, who makes the move down the inside of Aces versus Kings, takes away the Mercedes double podium. We cut back again. Are we going to have 3 wide into the chicane? Surely not. Not quite, as Robinett has to back out, as does Trugster, but we're going to have 3 wide into turn 1 possibly. Here comes Robinett down the inside. Is he going to get both of them? Not quite. Robinett, the Aston Martin, up to P8, and now his task is to get past this Alpine. That's what Trugster was unable to do. Can the Frenchman do it instead on those medium tyres? Remains to be seen. Aces is still within DRS range of Martin, and Spaled Wrong has got a time penalty now as well, so another position is possibly on offer for the Frenchman in the Aston Martin. Keeping it clean so far. Is he going to go down the inside into this turn 8? It's going to be very tricky, but he's made it stick. DTS Ayrton gave him the room, and Trugster's looking to take advantage as well. Round the outside on the approach to the hairpin. Who's going to come out in front? It's going to be DTS Ayrton down the inside of Trugster. Breaks very, very late and makes the move stick. Brilliant defense from DTS. He keeps P8 for now, but he's well and truly lost that place to Robinett as they go down towards the final chicane once again. Trugster with the DRS. They've both got DRS, but Trugster down the inside. He's been forced over the curb, unsurprisingly, but here comes Trugster now again. DTS with a poor exit. The Williams down the inside up towards turn 1. I think he's going to make this stick this time. No, Ayrton's going to hold it there. Now, through turn 2, Ayrton's got the inside now as Trugster around the outside. They're still side by side, but I think Ayrton's finally going to have to concede that one, and Trugster up to P8, but at what cost? Look how much time he's lost to Robinett, 2.3 seconds, and this is the penultimate lap of the race already. DTS Ayrton has now got to watch out for Scott behind, who is catching up to this battle. In the Red Bull. That Red Bull just behind him and the Aston Martin, they are both lapped cars. That's RHM and Tier. DTS Ayrton still within DRS range, but neither of them with any ERS at all. And I don't think the Alpine is going to have any realistic chance at making a move into the chicane. Is Tier going to have a chance at RHM? No, because he's been given DRS by his teammate and is in fact unlapping himself, which is quite interesting there. Short markers onto the last lap. Aces just not able to cope with the pace of TF Martin. Those mediums really derating now on this last lap. The hards have come into their own. Spaled Wrong right behind Womack. Robinett is there as well. As if anything goes wrong between these two, he'll be ready to pounce and get into the top 5 in this race. He's already top 6 net after the penalty. That's the Toe who's lost it in Sector 1, unfortunately. So he drops away from the battling as Spaled Wrong. Can he make this move on Womack? Not quite. The Alpine still holding on. We've got to cut to Short Marcus though. He has been supreme in this Canadian Grand Prix. Lifebout's up to P11 in the meantime, but here goes Short Marcus round the final corner. He's made it work. He's done fantastically. What a race from Short Marcus. He wins the Canadian Grand Prix. We've got to cut back because Robinett is going round the outside of Womack. This for P5. He's got DRS. The Aston Martin's made it work. Womack is under pressure from Spaled Wrong as well. They're going to go 3 by 3. Sorry, 2 by 2, nearly into the final chicane. Spaled Wrong can't make the move in the end. Womack's P6. Spaled Wrong takes P7. DTS Ayrton takes P8 after penalties. Trugster P9. What a recovery from Robinett, up to P5. Brilliant stuff from him. Scott takes the final position in the top 10. Lifebout is going to take P11. A very, very disappointing day for him. And Tier and RHM have already finished the race. And there we go. Lifebout across the line. Loses front wing in the process, but P11 for the championship leader, and championship leader no longer. Short Marcus will take the lead of the championship after that race. Didn't start well at all, Marcus, but what a recovery from you. The safety car was perfect for you, and you made it work. Some brilliant moves, and used your pace to the max at the end there. That has to be said. Fantastic performances too from the main Wayne, who finished in P2. That's his first podium in these sprints. So well done to him. Short Marcus with a absolutely atrocious dance on the podium. But he deserves it. He can do whatever he wants with that P1 trophy. And also TF Martin in the AlphaTauri, he put on a good show as well. Strapped on the hard tyres at the safety car, and it worked for him in the end. He was able to fend off the guys on the mediums and take third place, the final place on the podium. So there we go, Short Marcus wins the Canadian Grand Prix with the fastest lap as well. Trugster couldn't take it off him in the end. That is a monster lap, 12.9 on the mediums from Short Marcus. The main Wayne takes P2, great drive from him as well. TF Martin, third place for the AlphaTauri driver, and Aces couldn't quite secure the Mercedes double podium, but he will nonetheless be happy with P4. Robinet, a fantastic recovery from the Frenchman, but he really should have pit under that safety car, I think. Womax takes P6 in the end, Spaled wrong, P7 on his sprint debut. DTS Ayrton, P8, as Trugster takes P9. Scott, final place in the top 10. Lifebout, the well, now previous championship leader, finishes a very, very disappointing 11th place. After his multiple spins today, he did not have a good time at all, and will be hoping to turn it around in race 2. The toe, a lap down after DNFing on the final lap, in fact. But he will still classify ahead of Tier and RHMXA, the newbie in the Red Bull. Rick, unfortunately, DNFing from the race as well, through no fault of his own whatsoever. Just got caught up in two incidents, one after the other. Very, very unlucky day for the Dutchman, but again, Alfa Romeo crew will be hoping for a better race 2. We wait for the game to move us on to back to the main menu. I imagine Lifebout and Rick were probably distracted by the World Cup match, it's safe to say, so fair enough. Has it gone to penalties? I think it's gone to penalties, hasn't it? Yes, indeed. Game still isn't moving us on. I wonder if this is going to be a reset lobby situation. Could well be. If so, I await a ping from Scott to let me know. Oh dear, Netherlands missed their first 2 penalties. I won't say anymore. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm sure people have been recording it, so. Everyone's leaving the session, so I think I will do the same and wait for another invite. Actually, no. I'm sure people leaving will eventually move it on. I'd rather not have to quit the game because that will end the stream, and I'd rather not have to do that. So. Hopefully the lobby moves forward on its own once everyone leaves. Must just be 1 or 2 people not loading properly, which can happen on this game. Pretty much every F1 game. 10 minutes, okay, so waiting for the penalty shootout to end, fair enough. think there's a good possibility he may have been distracted by the World Cup match, Marcus. Oh, rip the Netherlands. But Messi marches on. There's plot armor. Looks like we're about to get underway for a race in Monza, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. Very much looking forward to this. Monza always produces some fantastic races. And is usually wet in my experience on this game, so we'll see. Here we go then, everyone loading in. Looks like everyone who was at the first race has made it into the lobby for the second race, which is always good. And it looks like a dry Monza race. It does look pretty overcast, so I don't know if it's going to rain towards the end, but we'll see. I've just realised, by the way, probably the most notable absence today is the absence of both usual McLaren drivers, which is really unfortunate. They made a fantastic, amazing start to the season in week 1. But unfortunately, Amir didn't make it last week, and neither of them are here this week, which is such a shame. They were in a really good place to challenge for at least the constructors, but definitely not anymore, so that's a huge shame. Rain towards end, thank you, Marcus. Very interesting. So this could get quite chaotic towards the end. A changeable conditions sprint race in Monza. Oh boy. Okay, 10 seconds until we get underway for the formation lap. I'm very much looking forward to this. I'm interested to see what tyres people go on, because are they going to try and eke it out on the hard tyres until the rain happens, or are they going to do something completely different? So we'll have to find out. No, most people have gone for the softs, so perhaps the rain isn't going to come quite before the end of the race, or maybe it's going to be mid-race sooner than I think, so we'll see. Most of the field on softs, only the toe spaled wrong. Womax, TF Martin and the main Wayne have chosen to go on mediums. RHMXA on pole, of course, after finishing last race. At the back, and here alongside on the front row, the toe. Interesting, some leagues with sprints, they do these reverse grid sprints a bit differently. So some leagues, like ESRL here, as long as you're classified, you are counted in the reverse grid. It's only if you DNF and are not classified that you end up at the back for race 2. But here, But some leagues, even if you are classified, if you crash and don't cross the line, then you get your points, but you don't get reversed on the grid. So interesting that ESRL does it this way round. Lifebout is P4, probably the one to watch. But Short Marcus P14 as well. You've got to keep an eye on him. He's going to be rocketing his way up the field, I imagine. So we'll see how it goes. Everyone's going to get into their grid slots. The run to turn 1 is going to be quite the spectacle, I'm sure, especially the braking zone. RHMXA has gone about 60 million miles over this grid slot, so not a surprise that he got reset there. A lot of people going over and getting reset a few meters. Here we go. 5 red lights. And we're underway for the Italian Grand Prix. It's a good start from the Red Bull. It's an even better start for the Toe just behind. We're going to go 3, maybe 4 wide into turn 1. RH moves to the inside to defend. We've got cars coming into turn 1. Everyone files through. 3 wide further back as Lifebout's... Oh, that's the Toe spinning round. I think Tia might have made contact with him. Lifebout's up to P3 as a result. Short Marcus P12. The Toe all the way to the back. Robinet up to P5 already in the Aston Martin. He's battling with Scott on the run towards the Variante Alta. He's going to be side by side with him through the entire section. Brilliant racing from the two of them. Can Robinet take the position? I think he can round the outside of Lesmo 1. Yeah, more overspeed for the Aston Martin. Up to P5 he goes. Spaled wrong right behind. Oh, that's Tia nearly losing it. Lesmo 2 somehow keeps it out the wall. That promotes Lifebout to P2. Spaled wrong to P3. And RHMXA has a 2.2 second lead after being at the back for pretty much all the race. Last race in Canada. Lifebout very wide at Ascari. But obviously not familiar with the lines quite yet. Robinet getting past his teammate. Bit of contact between the two as Robinet inexplicably turns in towards Tia. That could have ended in tears, but Robinet up to P4 in the end. RHM, of course, fastest lap at the front, has spaled wrong right behind Lifebout. Is he going to make a move into turn 1, I wonder? McLaren has a look, but not quite able to do anything as Aces and Trugster go side by side into turn 1. I think Aces is going to make that move. Yes, he is. Short Marcus, I'm sure, is not going to be far behind. He's in P10, but under pressure from TF Mar10, who's on the medium tyres. Someone's lost it. I think that's the Toe again. The main Wayne, actually, no, I think he's the one that lost it in the Haas. He's down to 14th. And Rick as well has not had a good start to this race yet again. P13 for him. Short Marcus, is he going to make the move down the inside of Lesmo 1 on Trugster? I think he is. They're going to be side by side through Lesmo 2 as well. Can this work for Short Marcus? Yes, it can. Spaled wrong's out of the race. There's the stricken McLaren. Surely a safety car. Yes, it is. And RHM's lead is going to be completely diminished. Lifebout is going to be comfortable P2. Short Marcus is up to P8 thanks to that. Aces P7. The Mercedes are making their way up the grid. But we've got a safety car, and that could allow the rain to come in earlier than the drivers may have thought. I wonder if we're going to see soft tyre runners pit. RHMXA is into the pits. Lifebout into the pits. Yeah, everyone's going to be in here on the soft tyres. They think the rain... maybe they think the rain is going to come later. Maybe they didn't check the weather. Who knows? Aces has stayed out on the softs. So he's going all the way to hoping that the rain does come. Clearly in that Mercedes. Or maybe just not double stacking with his teammate. I think that's much more likely. Everyone going on to the inters, in fact. So it's already raining. It must be. RHM is on the hards. Or maybe it's... yeah, no. There's the drops. It is raining. I can see it now. So everyone onto the inters, even those who started on the mediums onto the inters. So yeah, Aces is going to be pitting this next lap. I imagine Womax is as well. RHM and Tia have made grave errors, it seems, both onto slicks. everyone else on the grid on intermediate tyres. Aces and Womack's going to drop all the way to the back. So RHM is going to be leading this race on the wrong tyre when the safety car comes in. Or maybe it's going to be the right tyre for a little bit longer. This is quite exciting here. I think the safety car has nullified anyone... sort of any strategy with when to put the inters on, but it has bunched up the field for when this weather has arrived. Lifebout then looks like he's going to be the leader of this race. If all of the top three think, oh no, we've made an error here, although Aces was avoiding a double step to be fair to him, but if all those top three come in for inters now, Lifebout is going to be leading this race. With Robinet, the Frenchman, right behind. Scott as well is going to be P3. Tier is surely going to have to stop again as well in the Aston Martin. Short Marcus is right there as well, the championship leader. So got to keep an eye on him as the rain comes down. I'm sure he is going to be well in contention for the race win yet again. Aces is in. Womack stays out, as does RHM. Both of them staying out on the slicks. They think it's going to be slicked for a while longer. Tier stays out as well. Aces has gone on to the mediums, which I'm sure has got to be an error. It has to be. There's no way he would have done that on purpose. Has to be an error. Or a glitch in the game. This is the thing. I see people complain all the time about the game's put me on the wrong tyre, and I definitely chose the right tyre. I feel like most of the time when people say that, it was actually a driver error, and either they selected the wrong tyre by accident, or what's more likely is they select the right tyre and then Mark, the engineer, asks them, do you want to switch? Do you want to switch strategies? And they just absent-mindedly say yes, and he changes the tyre that they go in on back to the slicks, because obviously he thinks that it's still slick weather. So yeah, I'm interested for that one, what the explanation is for Aces putting on the set of the mediums. By the way, I'm pretty sure I gave this helmet like a 7 out of 10 or something last time. It turns out that it's a default helmet, so it actually gets 0. So sorry about that, Martin. Safety car is in this lap anyways, so Womack and RHM still on slicks. It does, I'm not going to lie, it still looks dry. It does still look dry. So I'm interested to see. I don't know if it's my PS4 not being able to render it very well, but it still looks pretty slick track to me. So we'll have to see how this transpires. Right on board with RHM. Womack has gone already. He's caught the Red Bull completely unawares as he goes through Parabolica. Lifebout's right behind on the inters. He looks pretty fast, so maybe it isn't slicks after all. Lifebout down the inside on the run down to turn 1. I'm not sure if DRS is going to be enabled or not. I think, judging by the flashing red lights, I don't think DRS is going to be enabled. Lifebout down the inside of the Red Bull down towards turn 1. Robinet tries to make the move as well. RHM breaks very late. Lifebout has to back out. Somehow RHM keeps the place, but not for long. He's really struggling to get the power down out of turn 2, and Lifebout takes the place. Up to P2 he goes. Robinet as well takes advantage, and he's up to 3rd place. Short Marker's still P7 for now. Tier is still coping. It looks like it's sort of on the balance. It's teetering on the balance between slicks and inters at the moment. That's what it seems like, but the hard tyres are just so bad on that Red Bull. And now Scott is the next one to try and get past his teammate. Surely going to do it out of Lesmo 2, I would have thought. No, not quite, not yet. As Tier and Short Markers are side by side, the slicks are still working for now, but for how long? Are they going to be able to survive? Are they going to be able to go all the way to the end? Is it going to be like this all the way, just a greasy track? I wonder. But I cannot say what the right strategy is at the moment. Lifebout is caught up to Womack very quickly, but I think that's as much a pace advantage as it is the tyres. Short Marcus, meanwhile, gets past both Red Bulls somehow, as RHM loses a bunch of positions. I think he's let them all through. I think the slicks are now starting to run out of steam in this wet weather. Womax has stayed out. Can Lifebout make a move into turn 1? Here we go. Round the outside is Lifebout going to go? No, he's going to stay there and wait for the move on the exit of turn 2. He knows Womax is going to have a slow exit speed. Here comes the Dutchman, the former championship leader, round the outside. He's made the move, but so has Robinet. And the Frenchman is going to follow him all the way to Variante Alta. And who's that? It's Aces that spun at turn 2. Disaster for the Mercedes. That's a real shame for him. Lifebout, meanwhile, under huge pressure from Robinet, nearly loses it on the exit. And Robinet into the lead of the race. Lifebout down to second as Womax continues to stay P3, but not for long. Short Marcus now down the inside into Lesmo 2. And the Mercedes is looking to win yet another race in this sprint championship. Martin is right there as well in the AlphaTauri. Keep an eye on him. Scott is sitting well in P6 as well. Tier has lost it looks like. Martin has got past Womax. Those slick tyres really struggling now. It's definitely into weather. Lifebout still right behind Robinet, but look at Short Marcus. He's right there, and I think we're going to have a three-way battle for the lead of this race as they all come through Parabolica. Short Marcus right behind. Can Lifebout do anything on the run to turn 1? No DRS in this wet weather. Short Marcus unsurprisingly setting the fastest lap. Womax into the pits for the Inters. He's decided enough is enough. Tier and Aces have stayed on the medium somehow. Lifebout's gone deep into turn 1 though, all over the curbs, and he's down to third, promoting Short Marcus. It's a free position for the championship leader, and now all he has left in his way is one Aston Martin for a double race win today to cement his championship lead well and truly. He is a very quick driver, and I really hope I see him in Tier 1 next season, because I think he'll be a fantastic addition to the league. Martin right behind Lifebout in that AlphaTauri as well. The Dutchman really going to have to work hard to keep this podium, and I can't see it happening, to be honest. It's not very realistic, because Martin's just got so much more pace in that AlphaTauri than Lifebout does. And it's a shame that he hasn't been able to keep his pace, but if he can hold off Martin, that would be quite a feat from the Dutchman. His teammate Rick is still in P8, by the way, still hanging on to a decent position in the other Alpha, as the main Wayne looks to get past DTS Ayrton into Parabolica down the inside, brakes much later and gets the move done. Great stuff from the Tier 2 champion, as Martin right behind Lifebout, 1/10 behind. He's got the slipstream. Lifebout defends to the inside. Martin has to go back round the outside, and he's going to have the inside for turn 2. Lifebout forced over the curb as Martin, a poor exit, but Lifebout can't take advantage. There's going to be, again, bumper to bumper as they go through Curva Grande. Lifebout down the inside on the approach to Variante Alta. I think he's going to make this move stick. He is. Great defense from the Dutchman. He keeps P3 for now, but for how long can he keep this AlphaTauri behind him? Rick right behind the main Wayne as well. DTS Ayrton has dropped another position in the meantime. Rick up to P7 now, as Trugster also looks to put the pressure on. Short Marcus right behind Robinet. Here goes. I think this could be the move for the race lead. Short Marcus looking for a double win this evening, and he is into the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. And Lifebout and TF Martin side by side again. Lifebout still side by side all the way through Ascari. Somehow Martin's kept the position. Lifebout around the outside as we're on the approach to Parabolica. They're still side by side. Is Lifebout going to be able to hold this? Martin down the inside, much more confident on the brakes, but runs wide, and Lifebout's going to have a better exit on the run towards turn 1. And Robinet's not done for the battle for the lead either. It's very close between those two. Here comes Lifebout. He's got the slipstream. Is Martin going to defend? He's going to get Lifebout to go down the inside, hoping to have the inside for turn 2. They're side by side still. A little bit of wheel banging. Can Lifebout get the better exit that he needs? I don't think so. A little bit of a twitch, and I think that is position done and dusted for TF Martin. P3 for him, onto the podium. Can Lifebout do anything into turn 4? No, he can't. But Martin with a poor exit there. Lifebout again though can't take advantage. And this Alfa Romeo is going to really struggle to get back on the podium now, unless there's a mistake from TF Martin. As they go through Lesmo 2, Lifepout very deep onto the gravel, and that is going to be that, I think. He's going to have to settle for 4th place, is the Dutchman. But I think that's about the best he can do here. Scott is still surviving in P5. He is driving very well indeed in that Red Bull. He'd be delighted with a top 5 finish here, but he's got the main Wayne, the Tier 2 champion, and Rick right behind him, looking to get themselves into the top 5 as well. I think this is going to be the battle to watch. Trugster right behind DTS Ayrton as well. Scott through Parabolica. There's no DRS, remember, in these wet conditions. The main Wayne is going to have the slipstream on the run to turn 1. Scott goes defensive to the inside. Here comes the Haas. Round the outside he goes. Who's going to break later? It's going to be the main Wayne all the way round the outside. And he's got the position. Great stuff from him. P5 for the Haas. Very good, clean move from the main Wayne. And now Rick is following him through Curva Grande down the inside. Nothing Scott can do. And he is finally now down to P7. Has a look down the inside for turn 4, but not quite able to get it to fruition. And Rick takes P6, aces into the pits for another set of, well, his first set of intermediate tyres. He's been on the slicks all this time, somehow managing to survive. And he's finally bitten the bullet, it seems. And he's going to be even behind Tier as he comes out the pit, so it could be a position gained for that Aston Martin. But he's going to have to contend with that penalty, of course, that he's got for track limits. As always, if you see Tier without a penalty more than halfway into a race, then it's quite a rare sight, unfortunately. But Rick through Parabolica, Lifebout. Meanwhile, TF Martin, it's a mistake from the AlphaTauri, and what did I say? Only a mistake will get Lifebout back onto this podium, and it's happened. Martin now 2.3 seconds behind, a mistake out of Parabolica. We've got a spinner further back, I think that's the toe in the Williams, who's lost the place. Rick breaks very late into turn 1, far too late, and loses a bunch of time as Ayrton and Trugster side by side. Ayrton keeps the place into turn 1, gets the better exit, and leads the Williams through Curva Grande. These battles continue, but Lifebout is going to be delighted with that. He's only got 3 laps now to just keep that AlphaTauri behind. 2.1 seconds is the gap. He's got a good buffer, and there could be another podium on the cards for Lifebout. He's had a great season so far, but Short Marcus at the moment is running away with this championship. Another win for him, it looks like. Robinet can't quite keep up. It's very close between the two of them, and I don't think Robinet can get close enough to have any chance at making a move. Rick's still under pressure from Scott. He's not given up in that Red Bull. So we've got to keep watching this. And Trugster as well, still right behind this Alpine in the battle for 8th place in this race. Here comes Trugster up towards Parabolica. Is practically pushing Ayrton through the final corner. Can he perhaps get a better exit and a move into turn 1? It seems so. 3.5 tenths between them. He's using that ERS. You can see on his dashboard that green line lighting up. Down the inside he goes towards turn 1. They're going to break very late from the Williams. Forces Ayrton nearly off the track. Ayrton keeps the place somehow. Great driving from the Alpine. Kept his foot in. Trugster onto the gravel in the end, but he's... I think he's the one that forced Ayrton into the poor line, which would force himself back off the track. That can happen. I've seen it plenty of times at that corner. And Trugster is going to have to bring that gap back down again. Lap 12 of 13. So 1 and a bit laps to go. Martin is back within a second of Lifebout already. So Lifebout is going to have to defend for a lap as Martin hunts for this podium that he's going to feel like he deserves after that mistake put him back down to P4. He's clearly got a lot more pace than the Dutchman, but it's whether he can get back past is the question. Rick as well, right behind the main Wayne in the other Alfa Romeo. So it's two battles for two Alfa Romeos at the moment. DTS Ayrton as well is got Trugster still right behind him. Here comes the Williams again round the outside of Parabolica. Surely he's going to make the move this time on the run to turn one. He's going to have the better exit than the Alpine. They're still right together. He's got the slipstream. Here he goes round the outside for P8 this is, as Trugster has the better overspeed, and surely Ayrton can't send one into turn one. He's not going to, and Trugster up to P8 on the final lap. We cut back to TF Martin. Is he within range of Lifebout? It doesn't seem like it. Lifebout a much better Sector 1 than the AlphaTauri. Must have been a small error. There's another small error, it seemed, through turns 4 and 5 from TF Martin. Lost a couple of tenths there. DTS Ayrton still right behind Trugster. He hasn't given this up, but I think the overwhelming pace advantage of the Williams at this point is going to tell itself in this final lap. So Lifebout still fending off Martin for now. He's going to be delighted with a podium here, I'm sure. He's not going to be delighted to see this man, though, in the Mercedes. Short Marcus taking his second win from 2 races this evening, his third win from the last 3 races in ESRL Sprint. He's running away with this championship. Short Marcus wins the Italian Grand Prix. Robinet comes home for a brilliant P2 in the Aston Martin, of 1.5 seconds behind. Lifebout gets a podium in the end. Martin has to settle for 4th after his mistake earlier on cost him a secure 3rd place. The main Wayne finishes in the top 5. A good race. A good evening's work from the Tier 2 champion, a podium and 5th place. Great stuff from him. Rick finishes P6, a good recovery from the back of the grid after a poor race 1. Scott finishes in P7. Trugster did keep the place from DTS Ayrton in the end, who finishes P9. The Toe P10 after a torrid evening for him, unfortunately. RHM finishes in 11th. Womax will finish 12th after he went for the gamble with aces for the slicks. But it didn't pay off as Tia, just about saves the car at the exit of Ascari. He will be able to finish the race. It looked for just a second like he'd be into the wall, but he managed to keep it out. Yeah, these 3 drivers at the back went for it. They went for it, the gamble, keeping the slicks on, but it was just too much grease on the circuit, and they all finish back of the lineup in the end. At least they finish here in P14 there. And that was indeed tense, Marcus, but another win for you. Absolutely on fire at the moment in this sprint championship, and I think the other drivers are going to already start thinking, well, he's won this championship. But I'm sure you won't see it that way. Robinet did indeed have some pace. He really kept you in check there. But Lifebout had damage. That explains a lot. But still, 3rd place. Great stuff from you. Of course, needed the mistake from TF Martin at Parabolica to take back the position, but well defended in the end. Kept that podium. But yet another win for Short Marcus. And I think we're going to need some horrible luck for the Mercedes driver for anyone else to come away with any chance of winning this championship. And we're only halfway through. But anyways, Short Marcus takes the race win and the fastest lap, of course, 25.8. Robinet takes home a fantastic P2. He'll be very happy with that. Lifebout takes P3. In the end, Martin really should have had a podium, but the architect of his own downfall with a mistake at Parabolica, and he finishes P4. The Tier 2 champion, the main Wayne, in the top 5. Great evening for him. Rick P6, recovery after Canada. Scott, a nice P7. Trugster and DTS Ayrton very close, 8 and 9. The Toe P10, RHMXA 11. Wumax Aces and Tier all went for that gamble on the slicks to get them to the end. It didn't work, and they will finish at the back. And then, of course, Aces DNFing, causing that safety car. No, not Aces. Spaled wrong. That's what I mean. Spaled wrong. Losing it at Lesmo 2, bringing out the safety car, and he will not finish the race. But anyways, that was another week of ESRL sprints. Short Mark is leading by like 100,000 points. Near enough. I haven't done the maths, but I would guess that he's leading by at least 15 points by this point. But I suspect it will be more than that. But I think after some bad luck in race 2, he is right on form, and it's looking like he is unstoppable already for this Drivers' Championship. I don't think anyone really is his equal at all on pure pace in this grid. But credit to him, he's showing his worth, and I'm sure he'll be a force to be reckoned with in Tier 1. NER Ayrton, watch your back. But anyways, thank you all for watching. It's been another week of ESRL sprints. I may not be able to make it to next week to commentate. I will check, and I'll let Scott know, of course, well in advance if I can't make it. But if that is indeed the case, I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Hopefully I'll see you next week, but if I can't make it, in a couple of weeks for round 5 of the ESRL Reverse Grid Championship Season 2. But that's all from me. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like on the stream, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.